Hi, I'm Susan Evans from susanevans.org, and today I'm going to be showing you our Civil War notebook. The first thing that we did in constructing our Civil War notebook for our Civil War unit study is to get some silver paper, and you can get some silver paper at a scrapbooking supply store. Then we had some pictures. Now, if we went to a Civil War reenactment before we began our Civil War unit study, and so we snapped some pictures and we chose some photos to showcase on that main page. If you don't have a Civil War reenactment in your city, you can find like photos online or whatever that are public domain that you can use for that, or you can color some pictures or something. And then we backed it with some blue paper. So I chose the colors of the Civil War. You noticed? I chose the colors of the Civil War, silver and blue, to decorate the binder. And you want your binder to have a pocket in the front of it so that you can decorate it like this. I also had something on the edge of it saying Civil War and the name of the child so that I could find it when it's on the bookshelf. Okay, so our Civil War binder, it has the papers of the things that we did during this unit study. We have been using All-American History, Volume 2 by Bright Ideas Press, and it is a textbook, and I know that you guys know that I despise textbooks, okay, except for high school. For elementary, I really do not like textbooks because I love living books and hands-on and things like that. The good thing about this particular series of All-American History is that even though it is information dense like a textbook, it still has everything set up like unit studies, and the teacher's edition has a lot of hands-on activities, a list of hands-on activities you can do to bring those time periods to life. So I really love that about it. But like I said, it's kind of like a biology textbook. If you read a high school biology textbook to all the kids in your family, those who are younger than junior high or high school, it will go over their heads, and it makes it a lot harder to explain like almost every sentence. So heads up about that it's for junior high and high school. Now, I know that they have some materials that can, for younger kids, that can cause them to be able to understand it better. So I haven't seen those, so I mean, that's fine. Just for us, my kids, 2 of them were in high school and 2 of them were older. The youngest was age 9, and she did not understand some of the concepts as they were explained. But I have to say that when I was in school, there were some concepts that I did not understand, politically speaking, because politics is one of those things that I just do not enjoy whatsoever. So it's possible that some of your kids, can understand it better at younger ages if they're interested in that kind of thing. Okay, so some of the things that we did for our notebooking binder, we made a Confederate flag, and I will have a tutorial on my blog for exactly how we did this. I just made it up. I had little star stickers and stuff like that. So, so we did that to decorate this first thing, which is maps and charts. Now, we did some maps and things like that, like which states are Union states, which states are Confederate states, what are the battles of the wars. All these papers come from the activity book that we used, and actually there are way more of these pages than I have in here that I'm going to show you. This is just a representative sampling of what they have. They have a lot of like presidents. They have one sheet for each president, and since we did a unit study on presidents before we studied this, we already knew all the presidents in order and had described each president 1 per day. And so we already knew all about the president. So we skipped that part to not do those pages. So you can adjust to your family as a homeschooling family, depending on what you've already covered in your homeschool. So the second type of transition here is people and events, and I just had a coloring page that the kids colored, and you can find coloring pages on the internet all over the place. Just you can download them, print them. So we had this is one of the pages from the activity book, student activity book, and the kids cut out the pictures, and what I did was you are allowed to make photocopies for your entire family. So it has a family license. So you have the, so what we did was I got a yellow piece of cardstock paper and then put that through the printer. And so we just printed out the worksheet onto a different color. I just like to mix it up like that. And so it's just fun, like the steps to the war, the things leading up to the Civil War. And so when you do something visual like this, it's easier to remember the things that led to the Civil War. It's easier to remember the main characters involved in the Civil War. We did literature and writing. We read Uncle Tom's Cabin, and that took the entire summer to read Uncle Tom's Cabin, and I read that with all of the kids, and we had really deep, rich conversations about it. And so I had my kids do an essay about either about slavery or one of the issues about Uncle Tom's Cabin. Then my son did the Red Badge of Courage, and he summarized that. We did a letter like for a Civil War soldier, and then he talked about the Battle of Gettysburg, and then we did a little bit of research on our genealogy. There's people in our heritage who were involved in the Civil War. So that was kind of cool. So you can investigate and see if any of the people in your family were involved in the Civil War and what side they were on. And then it comes kind of to life for the people. We read some other books like Little Women. Was set during this time, but Uncle Tom's Cabin is like the #1 book that I would recommend you reading because it's a book that changed the nation, and it really underlines the angst of the plight of the slaves and everything. Okay, so and then the next section I put hands-on activities. There's way more hands-on activities that you'll see on my blog and in my Unit Study Treasure Vault. I have a bunch of videos in my vault about things that we did for the Civil War as well, and some of the stuff from the Civil War reenactment I filmed as well. That's in the vault. So in this section, you can have a photo of what you did and then have the kids describe what it was. For example, we did a Civil War reenactment, and then you can pull pictures. They could be huge or small or whatever, and then you can describe them. And then I have also tests. The tests, I'm also anti-testing for elementary because it makes you focus on trivia instead of understanding the depth of a particular topic. And so, but I think that the tests that come from the Bright Ideas Press book, the All-American History book, are really good because in college, your kids will need to take tests on trivia. So they need to learn the skill of being able to take tests on trivia. Okay, I despise the whole idea, but they do need to be trained to be able to do so. And the tests for this, they will not pass the test. They will fail the test if they were not paying attention. So it is good in that sense, and it helps if you internalize a lot of the information and do more study on different things that are on the test so that it triggers it, because a lot of the people, for example, like artists or musicians or just any famous people, there's a lot of them. And so I don't know if you would want to make cards or do something like that, but or just do extra study or go on the internet and look up each character or some of the characters at least, so you're more familiar, so it's not just trivia. But we really enjoyed doing our Civil War notebook, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Susan Evans from SusanEvans.org. Thanks for watching.